Hello, Karen, team leader and mentor with Avon, and I am super excited to come to you with a kind of an instructional video tonight on making samples for our Avon brochures. I want to first of all start out by giving a big shout out to Tracy Fallon for really getting me into how she created samples, and I followed her lead in basically the technique and a lot of the products that she uses to do it. And so she's just amazing and a great friend, and she's just I just want to thank you so much, Tracy. So I've had a lot of people questioning how I make these, and I have kind of tweaked a little techniques to make it more simple with some of them. I have been so excited to make these samples because when I include samples with my customer orders or just in the brochures to hand out, people really enjoy trying the new products like I do, and they buy the products when they've experienced them. So it's just really worthwhile, and it's a little bit time consuming, but it's not really very expensive, and just great fun for me. And also I put the samples, I put them in the brochure, just stapled them in on the right page, so the customer doesn't have to wonder what sample goes with what product if you just drop them in the bag. So they're stapled on that page. They really draw a lot of attention, and so let's get started here. I ordered all of these products off of Amazon, and I will put the links below. The product that I just kind of guessed, and it was a lucky guess because this is a great product. The crimper, very inexpensive. There are different styles, a lot of different ones on Amazon. But I had never used a crimper before. It works great. There's no temperature adjustment, and it's really hard to tell, you know, how hot it is. But usually I let it warm up for about 4 to 5 minutes. The longer that you let it warm up, the hotter it gets. Usually after about 6-7 minutes, I think it's probably at its hottest. I've never had a baggy leak, and it's never like gone through the plastic, but it just takes a few seconds. And usually I'll use it for about 15 minutes max at a time. It just happens to be the way that I do it. And you make quite a few samples in 15 minutes. So this is the crimper. And then the labels that I use are the Avery labels. And they're this number, and they're this size, 60 per sheet. And I print these off using, or I create my labels using the Avery site, and then I just print a master copy, just on regular paper, and then when I want to print additional labels in that particular product, that same label style, if I run out, then I just use the master copy and just print out a copy onto my labels. So this is the full sheet. So when you print out a master like that, you don't have to actually get back in the Avon site and look up that particular label. So that makes it pretty quick. 60 sounds like a lot at one time, but I actually put in a second order for these great baggies that I use because I just made so many, and I can't remember how many. The link will tell how many baggies, hundreds of baggies, and they look like this. They're scored on the top and actually open up in the bottom part, and so the one side is see-through and the other is not. And usually I put the label on the see-through side, but not always. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm trying to think if there's anything else right now. It was super easy, and it's just really pretty inexpensive. More time consuming than expensive. So I guess I'll get started here. I think that my crimper is hot enough. So I'll start out with our amazing Cucina Fruits and Passion Sea Salt and Amalfi Lemon Hand Cleanser. It smells yummy. So I've already printed out the label, and I've stuck it on my little bag. And the products that have the pump make it real easy for you to get the product in the bag. So I find that if I just kind of run my finger through here, usually it will stay open better. Once in a while it wants to collapse, but it stays open better that way. And I just try to get the product, whoops. Sometimes they can be kind of tricky if they kind of have a mind of their own once in a while, but not too bad. So we'll try it again. So I just put the product down there and just squirt a couple times. So there, it's in there, and try to get it down as far as you can down to the bottom. So, and then I'll use the crimper and I'll show you how easy it is and how you don't really have to use it for very long. So I always just try to kind of get it on there straight. And sometimes you can hear a little sizzle because once in a while the product is up in the area that's being heated. But basically that's it. And you can see how that did not take very long and how it's wanting to kind of warp. So I usually just set a little something on there, and in just you know, a few seconds the warp is gone. And so it's just done, it's ready. Now the other thing that I have found is, I didn't set it on there real long, the warp would be better, but I get scissors and usually I cut about half of this off because it just looks so much better that way. And you can't really see the product because this is a clear one, but it's in there. And to show you, so this is the before for the honey blossom, and then this is the after I cut the bottom off. So you can see that looks just a lot better. It's more attractive. And speaking of the honey blossom, I need to get another baggie here. And okay, the honey blossom, this is another technique that I use for our wonderful honey blossom fragrance. Love this. Oh my goodness, this is so nicely scented. So usually I use a cotton pad, half a cotton pad. You've probably seen the squares, and I just cut them in half. Usually I put 2 or 3 cotton pads on a piece of cardboard or something, and usually I'm doing this at the kitchen counter because that's where it's just as easiest. My electrical outlet is right there, and you know, just kind of have a lot of counter space. But anyhow, so I put this on the cardboard and squirt it. And then the technique that I have for getting this little half cotton pad in here is it's kind of fun. I've kind of come up with some things that work. So here's my honey blossom label, and usually I put the labels on first, and you know, so this one I don't necessarily want the little cotton pad to show through. So I'm going to put the label on the back part rather than the front where you can see through. So I attach my label here. Super easy, there we go. And then I open it up. So after I put the fragrance on, just a few little squirts, there we go. And I found that using my kitchen tongs, kind of crazy, but it works because I had trouble getting that little half cotton pad in there. So here I'm going to open it up and put the tongs in. See, it wants to kind of close once in a while. Yeah, it seems like when I do very many, I get kind of a system and it goes really fast. But I put the tongs in and it opens it up. And then it's just really easy just to drop it in. See, it's in there. And I like it when it's at the bottom. And then usually I just hold on when I remove the tongs. And there it is, right where we want it. So let me crimp this one and show you how super easy it is. And it just takes a few seconds, not very long. And sometimes you can just almost hear the plastic. So see, we have kind of some crinkling going on. So I just put a little bit of weight on it, and it's good to go. So I just kind of do one, and then I do another, and then I do another. So that's my system for fragrance. It's just that little cotton pad just fits in there real nicely. And this side will be in the brochure, and again, I'll cut off the bottom, about half of it. Looks much better that way, and kind of smell it, but I don't know how long it lasts. I need to kind of test that out, but I know a lot of the gals use this type of a thing with plastic and maybe some little fabric petals and that type of thing. So, but that's a great way to sample fragrance. So another kind of issue that I had was using a cream or a lotion, and this is our fantastic Rice Water Bright cleansing foaming cleanser. And so this is one that I've really enjoyed sampling this out. It's a big amount, so you can get a lot of samples out of here and still have a lot for demoing and enjoying yourself. So I tried first of all with so here I have one with a label on it, and I tried opening it up and just kind of squirting it in, and that was just a little bit messy. So I have my handy dandy little spoon, smaller than a teaspoon, and so what I did was just squirt a little bit on the spoon. It doesn't take very much. If you're making very many, you can go through a lot of product, but this is enough for the customer to be able to smell the lovely light scent, and this is definitely enough to wash your face, cleanse your face one time when you add water and it foams up. So again I open up, and this one I'm going to have the see-through, so I usually kind of run my finger across here, and that tends to kind of open it up. So see, we have it nice and opened up here, and my hand's in the way, but I just run the spoon in here and then grip the front, pull the spoon out, and there's our sample right there. And try to keep it, of course, as close to the bottom as we can. So again, we just crimp it for a few seconds. I was telling girlfriends like 4 to 5 seconds, and I don't even know if it's that long. It just does not take very long. Never have had one leak or have any problems. I mean, we're done right there, just like that. And again, I just put my weight on it, and just for a few seconds, and it's good. So I guess I'll do a couple with the Propolythera Volumizing Shampoo. So that's this one right here. And these products are great because you can create a lot of samples with these big, huge bottles, and I've sold them because people can try them. So here's the Volumizing Shampoo. And get it to stay open, and again we just put it in and squirt. Whoops! And I'm not at I'm doing things a little bit higher than usual, but see, you can see the samples in there. And again with the let's see here, okay, the conditioner, put the label on, and sometimes I have to kind of open it up. Okay, this is the side I want. And make sure that you always put it on the part that has the little area where they can just rip it off. That's the top. And we'll just squirt some inside here. See how easy it is. Love things that have the pump. There we go. So a couple more seconds here, and we have a couple more samples made. And to me, this is just super relaxing and fun, and you can just create a whole bunch. And also, I forgot to bring my little cup, but I have just a little tiny, smaller than a coffee cup really, and I just kind of line them up in there after I fill them. I just fill a whole bunch, line it up, because that way they don't fall all over, and then just pull them out, and just a few seconds. Now that one, you can see this, I don't know if you can see it, but smoke's coming out, so they're not smoke, steam. Don't worry, I'm not catching the place on fire. But there was a little bit of product up here, and so and I can smell it too. So, when I went to crimp it, it warmed up the product, and it smells yummy in here. So, but again, I cut them, and there we go. And so I think that's the main thing that I want to share with you about making the samples. But I'm super excited to share the goodies that are in this bag. And this is something that I kind of came up with to share with people when I don't want to if I don't happen to have any brochures with me, or I don't have a lot of time to try to get people's information. A lot of gals at the check stand, they hardly have time to even visit with you at all. So we have our amazing strawberries and cream bubble bath. And so I was sharing this and putting samples in the brochures. And then it, of course, is limited time only. And then it was no products was no longer available. I'm really hoping Avon will put this yummy, yummy bubble bath in our regular bubble bath line because it sold out fairly quickly. But I had some. This is an extra. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, but I put it in sample bags, and so this I carry this in my purse. Doesn't take up very much room. You can see all the samples in there, and this is the sample of our strawberries and cream bubble bath. As well as I have my little, this is not a regular business card, it just says enjoy your free samples and to order full size. It has my phone number and it has my Facebook, Glamour and Style by Karen, and shop my e-store. When I got these a long time ago, the phone number didn't show up very well. It's just the way it was created. So I have my stamp on the back, and then of course my YouTube channel. Check out my YouTube channel. So this all fits nicely in a, and I try to put it in to where this shows on one side, the bubble bath shows on the other. And these are bags that I got at a craft store a while back, and it just barely fits in there. But these are the 3x4 size bags. So if that card were any larger, it probably wouldn't fit, but it's perfect. And I definitely wanted to keep the bubble bath, even though the samples contained, I wanted to put it in plastic so it would not break in someone's purse or pocket or something. So that's another great idea. We have so many wonderful bubble bath varieties. So even though we don't have the strawberries and cream right now, just try one of the others. Wouldn't be a bad idea maybe to try the bubble bath for sensitive skin and make a lot of samples out of that, even though it's not colored, so it wouldn't quite look it's kind of a iridescent creamy color, but I like the idea of the colored, but that way maybe someone that had sensitive skin might be more apt to try it. So, but we have so many bubble baths, and just a great way to share samples. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I think I covered everything. The crimper, the labels, and the little bags. The information will be down below. If you have any questions or any comments, just go ahead and send a comment to me. I hope this has helped. I hope that you too have fun making labels, samples, inexpensively, and just have a fantastic time sharing the Avon love. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.